Hello, everyone. Today we're diving into a topic that is shaking the foundations of the Middle East. We are asking the big question: who is the hidden hand behind the chaos in Iran? Is it just an internal struggle, or is there a massive global player pulling the strings? We are looking at reports of hundreds of billions of dollars flowing from the CCP to the Khamenei regime, and whether they are preparing to literally carve up the country. To understand where Iran is going, we have to look at where it has been. It's hard to imagine now. But 40 years ago, Iran was the most westernized and secular country in the region. Tehran was called the Paris of the Middle East, where you'd see miniskirts and suits just as often as you would in Europe. But in 1978, the country was hit by a wave of strikes and protests, just like today. 你那边的噪音都进来了。Back then, Ayatollah Khamenei was sending his commands via cassette tapes to every mosque in the country. By early 1979, the people overthrew the Pahlavi dynasty. Khomeini returned, and the Islamic Republic was born. It became the world's only theocratic republic, and for the Iranian people, it was a start of a nightmare. Fast forward to today, the people are back on the streets, and that same theocratic regime is finally starting to crumble. Now, everyone asks, who is the real culprit for this instability? You might think it's just the religious leaders like Khamenei or military figures like the late Soleimani, but the real power behind the throne is the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. Iran is the CCP's most important ally and their strategic nail driven into the Middle East. Because of Western sanctions, Iran is now almost totally dependent on Beijing. In the eyes of the CCP, Iran is a poor nation with big dreams that they can use to balance power against the US and Russia. In fact, CCP linked thinkers like Professor Di Dongsheng have been very blunt about this. He basically said that because Iran is blockaded and poor, they are forced to take the lowest quality Chinese products, placing them the same level as the poorest parts of Africa. The CCP sees the collapse of the Iranian theocracy as almost inevitable, and their plan either turn Iran into a complete colony or watch it split apart so the CCP can take the pieces they want. A major turning point happened on February the 14th of 2023 when the late Iranian President Raisi visited Beijing. Reports from February 19th of that year show that Raisi's 3-day trip was actually cut down to 2 days because Xi Jinping's demands are simply too extreme. She essentially told Raisi, I'll support you, I'll keep buying your oil, and I'll keep the wealth flowing to your regime. But there's a price. And that price was massive. She demanded 100-year rent-free leases on military bases and ports in southern Iran, specifically the islands near the UAE. This would put the Chinese military right in the middle of the world's most important oil routes, from the Persian Gulf to the Suez Canal. But it didn't stop there. Xi also demanded that Huawei's control over Iran's communications be written into their national constitution so they could never be kicked out. He wanted a 100-year deal for high quality oil at a fixed price. And get this, he demanded that 50% of all oil payments be made in digital RMB, effectively making China's currency the standard for Iran's entire economy. So, where are those hundreds of billions of dollars the CCP promised? Well, reports suggest that between 400 billion and 700 billion dollar is being funneled directly to the Khamenei family. When Raisi went to China, he told his people he was going to get money to make life better for the people, to make basic things like eggs cheaper. But in reality, he was negotiating for his own political survival and trying to secure his spot as the next leader after Khamenei. The Iranian people never saw that money. Instead, the rial was crashed to nearly 1.5 million to 1 US dollar. The CCP is simply using this cash to control the regime and buy their oil and weapons while they wait for the country to fracture. Why does this matter to us? Because Iran is the crown jewel of Xi Jinping's Belt and Road Initiative. The CCP wants to take over the Middle East to threaten the US, and Iran is the key to that plan. The CCP is specifically focused on southern Iran, where the major ports are. We are talking about Jask port, which lets them bypass the Strait of Hormuz. We are talking about Chabahar port near Pakistan and Bandar Abbas, the main commercial hub. If Iran ever achieves a true democracy with one person, one vote, and returns to Western values, the CCP's entire Middle East strategy collapses. Their Belt and Road Initiative would be finished. So we're going to keep watching this situation closely. This is more than just local politics. It's a fight for the future of the free world. Thank you for joining me today as we witness this history in the making. I'll see you tomorrow for more updates. Have a great one.